These are family entitlement names based on the children of Israel, and the names are going to go to the famous warrior, the port keeper, who is like God. Those are classifications in the dictionary based on phonetics and etymology, onomastics and genealogy, Bible, encyclopedia, dictionary. Boom. No one can change them. Thank God. Praise God. And excuse my passion because I'm tired of the confusion out there. I'm going to straighten this out. I'm tired of watching people. This is originally lira, metathesis. See that, ladies and gentlemen? These things have no names. They have really no purpose. You just keep saying, well, we just keep thinking that they're angels unclassified.
Ready.
Hi. Okay, what I'd like to talk about is the Declaration of Independence of the United States of America. It's 2010, we saw this Mexico, which is Paleo-Hebrew for, we'll talk about that word later. Louisiana, we saw the Saints win the Super Bowl. And that just happened in history. And when people look back at history, they don't kind of collectively look at that as like, hey, it's kind of funny, like almost like the Bible, like in Daniel. You know, well, if it was in Daniel, you'd see things like the Prince of Persia coming out. Oh, wait a minute, the Prince of Persia came out in 2010 too. And all these, Your Highness, we got the King's Speech, the princess yelling, but I am the princess. They're doing that because you don't know it, but they're actually practicing witchcraft on the princess of Israel. And she doesn't even know who she is, which would her father would be the king. If you're a human being on earth, there are these families from Israel, and they are from here. They'll be found in the dictionary as sources and foundations, because this is how God's going to prove He did this stuff. He's going to prove that these are signs and signs. You know, just because we look at these, we're dealing with the ones that they're dealing with. The black swan, you got the golden eagle, and Lyra, the golden compass. You see that? That's what we're called an exact match. So in kindergarten, if you miss those things, you fail. Did you get that? If you miss that those things are all culminated in places where you grew up thinking, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. And it makes these people be able to do movies that are kind of bull, anyway, like Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda is about a prince, if I'm not mistaken, who throws the guy in the pit. And then they, you know what? They did come out with Prince of Persia too. That's kind of funny. And in 2010, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Prince Port-au Prince a problem too before the Mexico? Before the Mexico. So that Port-au Prince points us to the letter A. That's the connection to lexicography, phonetics all around the world. We got A alpha, which is always going to be related to this one. There's a sign unto a witness who's coming, a witness unto the Lord. That's a human being. That's why they make that a national treasure. That symbol they use to promote it. The Benjamin Gates, they're looking because Israel's looking for Ben Yosef, the gatekeeper. If you guys don't know that, whether you're Christian or Jewish or Polish or Indianish or whatever, then you're wrong. You're completely wrong. If you think this represents the pyramid here and not the summer triangle in the sky, you don't know that that's calibrated for heraldry, and that's why you see it year after year after year after year after year after year, because they're practicing witchcraft on the gatekeepers. And this right now is in South Africa. The man from South Africa, his name, I guarantee, if he's in control of any Israeli signs, his names don't match that in what's called lexicography. Anybody know what the dictionary is? That means a bicycle is not a boat. A boat is not a car. A man is not a woman. There are definite classifications that are absolute, and when they're in my hands, I make a match as according to the Unicode. And the Unicode is actually what the Star of David is, right? And let's take a quick look at the Star of David too, right? We got the Star of David over here above Lyra, and all I have to do to prove to you that the Lyra is come from there is show you from the things from the Seal of History by Totten. There it is. You see that? That looks like that. That's an exact match. That's the match. That's the banner, the shield, the insignia. This is the banner that goes to both of those, showing that they're banners, that their names are marked. And their names are marked in heraldry. That's why the herald, Hark the Herald Angels sings. Somebody twisted that for you too. And wouldn't it be funny if we were all singing things and doing things, and all of us, and none of them matched what's really happening, and they've really changed everything for us? That's kind of scary too, because if you don't know, when we got here, they already were dealing with a map. Watch this, Aquila and Lyra. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's in the movie that Ben Gates was in. The sign comes to a witness of the Lord, where he finds these treasures. And these treasures, as Solomon said, are in names. A good name is better than great riches. And that's where we'll find God's endorsement, his fingerprint from signs before time in lexicons, law icons. One's male, one's female. We see over here in a map, this map, it doesn't belong to us, just came as a piece of scrap, like a piece of cardboard floating around. It's just waste. And you see here, Kingsman, Alpha, Old Town. And watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Over here on the right, you see Omega, right there. You also see the word Alma right here. Alma is the word maiden. So the word born, by dictionary definition, in my point of view, because I finally sat and I realized, I don't care what the suit looks like, how big the building is, how many people are sitting there, if they don't have the ability to remember and retain information like I do, like I could prove right here, with billions of bits of information, all invisible, using my ability to do that as a precision machinist, because I have machinist ability, computerized numerical control. So what I've done is I've taken that into a metric form, Metatron, metathesis, and there it is. The foundations of these things, these are actually foundationals for all the words that we're all using all around everywhere that define everything. And hidden in those two things, this alphabet, if that's true, they would have like an alpha or an omega plan. They do. They have an omega plan. You know, they have a person who pleasantly represents this, but when you see this, you don't know that this doesn't. This one is for here on earth, Aquila, Chrysaetos. This one is same here too. You can see, to get a good look at that with the arrow there, Aquila, Chrysaetos, but it's in a different place. That's called a para. Do you understand para? Para. This one, this is para, because the words that match this, what these things are going to be rooted in these. You'll see the famous warrior. That's why national treasure. That's why the golden eagle right now, ladies and gentlemen, the information I'm giving you is proving that they're practicing witchcraft in the United States, seals of the United States, and that right there definitely, absolutely, and positively solves the solution to the Declaration of Independence. Those things are supposed to be presided over at this time, right here, by Michael, the human prince. You can see that he has this seal, the sense. In England, they all know, and they have you all thinking that he's coming as a cartoon character. Watch this. You want to see? Watch. Let's see if they have him coming like a cartoon character. Oh, I think I went offline. Okay, we're coming up online, but let's go back to here. This is 2009, because so now they have, Obama stood with this and all the leaders, the 10 leaders. And it's funny because not only does this match the movie that's out, I haven't seen anybody make a comment and say, look at that beautiful movie we're making that represents that insignia that we brandished in front of you, all like a smoke signal. That actually matches things which are followed in the Chumash or the Chumash here, and it's got the turtle shell. Well, am I right or am I wrong? When you look at that insignia, the music of the universe is like a turtle shell. And Chumash is not connected to Israel, these people, but they were portending, they were porter. They were carrying from the time of Japheth, the symbol which would venerate in now. That's why it's here. That's why the stories in the world will match the stories that are up in the heavens, and they'll match the story in the Bible. And it will match a human name. Now, imagine being that person, knowing they're looking for a person, and knowing that all these other people came, but you can't see them. And every time you see their face, you see a different face. And I'm being told that that's all an absolute. This is what's happening. This is the conspiracy. Construct, constitution, conspiracy, construct, constellations, yeah, continent. Jack is not the Joker, but the definition is the knave of trumps. Trumps brings us back over to here in this stuff. So if they're practicing witchcraft, we're going to find these things. Wait a minute. Signs. So that's what's really happening. Now, if I'm right, excuse me, and I'm saying this balance thing is here, and I show it over here, well, let's go to Sequoia National Park in Kings Canyon, right there. I just matched it up for you accidentally, but I didn't even draw attention to it. If you were wise enough to go, oh, Kings right away, and no, when you look at this, see that 1971 song with signs, beginnings, starry, starry night. That's everything I've just showed you. Watch this one, ladies and gentlemen. Aquila and the arrow. Did I not show you? Me and my arrow. And I showed you that in an Indian reservation, the Indian Reservation, 1971. The beginning of the end. And the beginning and the end is Alpha and Omega. You know, that's almost like it's your song. If you look in the scriptures, you have two sticks, this person who gets this thing, he's a prophet, but yet you don't know who this prophet is because it's not Ezekiel, because that was not for Ezekiel's time. This prophecy is for now. And this is the relationship between the Ephraim and Joseph and the Judah and Israel. That's what's going on here with the White Castle, the White House, and the Camp David. And that's why National Treasure, my cameraman, did they not use a White Castle in that show? A White Castle. Watch this. Look at these, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you know, if we look at things that are, you know, really the symbols that are on the United States, and we even see a castle here, but you see, and it's funny, do these match one another? Well, they kind of do. They got a sword, they got wings, they're in a banner or an insignia. An insignia, that's very important. And look at how many of these insignias go to this cartoon character. So watch this, ladies and gentlemen. That's a cartoon character, you see? Because you can't put a face to it, you can't put a classification to it, and not one person that I see in the Christian Church of Rome is classifying this correctly, and they make cars, and they make spaceships, and they make computers, which tells me that they know the onomastics and the genealogy. So I'm telling you as Americans that the door, the blessing, that the nature tells us who's ruling, and that's why the Indians or the Native Americans knew that the eagle was coming. That's why they knew it was coming here in Mexico. That's why they know all around the world that this is coming, and that's why these people are doing these, and they walk in the very symbols and the emblems of the person who has that entitlement. That's what they're doing, and then they come out and they mock it, and you have no idea when you see these movies, Kung Fu Panda, Michael, Legion, Legends, where, you know, what's his name's got to battle the devil at the end of the age, the girl, the princess. Who's the princess? You type in last princess, you come up with this word, Lyra. Okay, I'm almost about done because I pretty much made my case.